Comsec, please take the oath of the of Mark. Tumayo po kayo.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this congressional inquiry, so help you God?
I swear.
Thank you.
Sir, the question of the Honorable Luistro.
Your Honor, if they're referring to the control system, our SCADA system, we have 3 control centers in the different regional grids. We have in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
How many switchboard or control system do you have?
1 for each region, ma'am.
One for
Actually,
each region.
We have 3 control
What
centers.
controls the switch or the control system per region? Meron ka pa bang main control that controls all the switch and the control system of all these regions? I believe yes.
Yes, ma'am. We have the control center for each region, and then we have substations for the equipment level control. For the system level control, we use the control centers using our SCADA system.
Where is the system control?
From the control center, ma'am.
Where is the control center?
For Luzon, we have here in Diliman. For Visayas in Banilad, and in Mindanao in Cagayan de Oro.
These control systems which you mentioned, they have the capacity to cause the blackout of electricity. Am I correct?
Not to cause a blackout, but to control our transmission assets and
If I want to
substations.
turn off the electricity, I just need to switch off the control system. Am I correct?
1 by 1 per equipment. You
One
can do
by
that.
one.
Yes, ma'am. We can control it remotely.
So, kanina you mentioned about the main control. How many main controls do you have?
We have a control center monitoring and controlling different equipment of the grid.
How many main controls do you have?
So we have a system, pag-control po ma'am, not necessarily, as I get from your question, isang button, wala po siyang ganon. So kasi different parts po ng grid, different assets, different control. So if you want to operate a certain circuit breaker, kailangan mong operate that specific breaker.
But at
A specific
least
feeder, yeah.
if I turn off one of those, did you say assets
Yeah.
of that control system, then the electricity will not work anymore. If I turn off one of the several assets of the main control system, the electricity will not work anymore.
If you intentionally isolate a specific area, that specific area will not have electricity, will not have supply of power for that specific area associated to that equipment.
To simplify, Mr. Chair, that main control that you are talking about is responsible to make the electricity available or otherwise.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, you said that you have main control in Luzon, in Visayas, and Mindanao. My next question is, what is this operational computer in Nanjing?
I'm not aware of that, ma'am.
Operational computer in Nanjing. Nanjing, China, I believe.
I'm not aware of that, ma'am.
Well, based on reports, there is such a thing as operational computer in Nanjing, which is connected to the server in the Philippines that can control the availability of electricity in the country. Can you comment on this?
I'm not aware of that.
Is
control,
it
yeah.
possible that this information is exclusive to the Chinese counterparts? and not shared to the Filipino counterparts?
Based on our configurations of our control center, this cannot be controlled remotely through overseas, not even here, yes, here in
What is your basis for saying that it cannot be controlled remotely? Are you that expert?
Based on my experience and my knowledge, our SCADA system is actually isolated, ma'am. It's not connected in the internet, so you cannot easily control it remotely.
Without
Based on the design and the architecture.
I understand. With all due respect, but considering that our IT infrastructure, tama ba, is provided by the Chinese counterpart, or should I say a Chinese corporation, I humbly submit that no matter how knowledgeable Filipino citizens are, the one who created the system no more and no better than the one operating the same. As a general statement, do you agree?
No, ma'am.
Ibig sabihin mo, you're the one using the system of China. Mas marami kang alam kesa nag-create ng system?
No, ma'am. As I've said,
This is a general statement, NGCP. It is not my intention to undermine the technical know-how of people from the NGCP, but logically speaking, ang sabi, the creature cannot become higher than its creator. I believe that the one who created knows more and knows better about the system than the one using the system. Do you agree?
I disagree, ma'am. Say for example, bawa meron akong laptop, computer, it's made in the US or in China. That does not mean the manufacturer can remotely use my device. Kung analogy po, ma'am, ang pinag-uusapan.
No, I'm talking about the system as a whole, and considering its use, the use of the system, considering that they were the ones who created it, it is my humble submission that no matter how expert we are, the one who created knows better about the system. That is a manifestation. We respect your position. To continue, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman,
Romy Ako.
with the indulgence of the Honorable Luistro, because I'm interested in the point she was making a while ago. I did not get it clearly, yung sagot po ng resource person. May I ask some clarificatory questions, Mr. Chair?
If the Honorable Luistro will allow, Honorable Luistro, there were questions that he would like to ask for clarification. Yes, the Honorable Akop, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sinabi po nyo kanina, 10 yung control points. Tama po ba yung pagkarinig ko? For the entire country, 10 yung control points. Tama po ba yung pagkarinig ko?
Sir, hindi 10 as in 10?
Yes.
Hindi
10.
po. Hindi po. We have three control centers, one for each region.
One for each.
One for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
And walang central control point to control the 3 control points.
Meron po kaming convergence point, yung central grid operations, pero it's just monitoring the interchange points.
Yeah, but-
Wala po. For each region, you're correct, sir.
So if you decide to cut off the power for the entire country, wala po yun.
Wala po.
Wala po. So it's for the 3 control points.
Yes,
Kung
sir.
gusto nyong patayin ang power sa Visayas, po pwede.
Yes, sir. Using the control center, one
Yes.
by one, you turn off the circuit breakers.
So
you
walang
isolate the plants.
central control point to control yung 3 control points.
Yes, sir. If you're referring the central control point as a single control, single button, wala pong ganun.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The Honorable Akop. Thank you. So, The Honorable Jinky Luistro, you still have the floor.
Mr. Chair, just a interjection. With the indulgence of Congresswoman
Yes,
Luistro,
yes, agreed.
na medyo nakiliti lang ako dun sa tanong ni Congressman Acop. If I may ask, this is a technical question. Kasi kanina ang sagot, walang central control system, no, to turn off, let's say, the whole power system of the country, correct?
Sir, we have a control center pero walang single button to turn
It off, okay.
Yes.
Now, can anyone just turn it off like that? Anong proseso pag turn off niyan? Sinong may approval?
Yun.
We have on-duty system operators.
So yung duty lang ang nando doon. Halimbawa, yung naka-on duty, kinurap nung isang kalaban ng bansa at sinabing patayin mo lahat nung yung area ng kuryente nung area yon. Can they do that?
What do you mean by corrupt? In-instruct-an?
Oh, in-instruct. Oh.
They should not follow.
Huh?
It's not part of their duty, sir.
No. What was that again?
Hindi, ibig sabihin, sir, how could they do that? Why would they follow the instruction of other people
No,
from other countries?
in simple analogy, ganito lang yan. Ano? Sabi mo kasi, it can just be turned off just like that.
Yes, sir.
Diba? Now, ang tanong ko, sino ang pwedeng magsabi i-turn off yan? At kung merong ganyang order, ano yung procedure o yung proseso para i-turn off yan?
Yes, sir. We have procedures on how we operate our equipment and especially the grid. May mga responsibility po yung system operator as outlined dyan sa
Hindi.
Philippine Grid Code, and then meron kaming mga internal procedures.
Okay, ganito na lang, para yun sa mga nanonood, no? Halimbawa, kaya nga binigyan kita example Sabi mo yung duty, ano yun? Ang sabi mo? What did you say? The
Yung
duty?
system operator on duty, meron po
Okay,
kaming
system
dispatcher na
operator
tinatawag.
on duty. Siya ang may kapangyarihan para i-switch on or i-switch off yung power supply, correct?
Yes, opo.
Okay. Dahil siya on duty, tinakot ng isang terrorist group, no? Tinutukan, tinakot. Sinabi niyang patayin mo yung switch na yan, turn it off. Can they do that?
Hypothetical po, kung halimbawang nasakop nga, nandun siya sa control center, that's possible. Kasi, ma-operate niya manually.
Ano nga yung procedure pag turn off?
Meron po tayo,
Who decides? Is that the decision of the duty duty system manager o ganyan?
Yes, sir.
Decision lang niya yun?
it's a decision based on established procedures po. May guidelines po tayo.
May established procedure pala Ano nga yung procedure? Ano yung procedure?
Kung halimbawa po, merong maintenance, pwede niyang patayin yon. May emergency, may risk sa life, sa equipment, pwede niya pong patayin.
I raised a hypothetical scenario na terrorist group came into that place. Tinakot yung operator. Sabi, patayin mo yung kaya niyang gawin yon.
Kaya niya po.
So yun ang tinatanong namin.
Yeah, if it's possible,
so ibig
he can do
sabihin, the power to switch it on or switch it off ay nasa isang tao lang doon sa duty manager.
Not necessarily isang tao, isang team. Usually po, 3 tao yung naka-duty.
Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Ibig sabihin, nasa kamay lang nila ang desisyon. So, walang security feature. Wala man lamang safety measure or security measure to prevent that hypothetical scenario from happening. Is that correct?
Sir, yung details po, pwede naman namin i-discuss kasi kung sabi nyo nga, security yung involved. Pero public po kasi baka po hindi namin basta-basta ma-disclose yung process nung...
Sige,
po.
let's not go into the details. Yun lang gusto namin malaman. Kung may isang nasa kamay lang ng isa, dalawa, tatlong tao pala, pwede nang i-switch yun.
Yes, sir.
Alam mo, very critical yung issue that we are discussing here because one, bukod dun sa issue that Congressman Dan Fernandez raised and the chair raised, the question that actually needs answers is who controls NGCP? Is it the Filipino or the Chinese? Based on documents, sinasabi na Chinese kasi sila yung kaya nga we're digging deeper. That's why we're asking questions. Now you're telling us na yung meron palang power to switch it on or off is only in the hands of one or a few. Therefore, masyadong vulnerable yung sistemang yan. But I will ask that question later and elaborate on that, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Congresswoman Jinky, Luistro, and Mr. Chair.
Mahirap i-explain.
Luistro still has the floor.
Tapos na, boss.
The Honorable Luistro.
Asa mo na sa akin?
Mr. Chair, I came across this NARI, the one which provides the IT infrastructure of NGCP. Does NGCP confirm this? NARI.
Mr. Chair, I am not familiar.
May we place back on board the technical officer of NGCP.
Mr. Clark Agustin, please take the chair of Attorney Malyari.
Do you confirm that the IT infrastructure of NGCP is now NARI?
For the IT, it's not NARI, but we have equipment branded as NARI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Equipment is branded as
Some.
NARI,
Some equipment,
Some.
not all, yes, ma'am.
but you deny that IT infrastructure is NARI.
I'm not sure about the specific brand of our IT. And it's not, I think not supplied by only one brand, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, I wish to remind our resource person that he is testifying under oath. So, I hope you are giving truthful information to this committee. I understand that prior to NGCP, the IT infrastructure is ESCADA, a Filipino corporation. However, upon the assumption of NGCP, they converted to NARI, which is a Chinese corporation. Now, I wish to ask, what is the reason why you switch from ESCADA, a Filipino corporation, to NARI, a Chinese corporation?
Ma'am, I would just like to clarify. IT is different from the ESCADA. So, ESCADA is our control system. That's our system control and
Do you
data
still have that
acquisition.
ESCADA
Yes,
up
ma'am.
to now?
Yes, ma'am. We have a SCADA. Yes.
Are you still using ESCADA?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, all power utilities uses SCADA to control their power system.
If ESCADA has this capacity,
Opo, SCADA stands for System Control and Data Acquisition. You use it to monitor and control the power system in the case of NGCP.
And you're still using that.
Yes, ma'am, we need the SCADA to control our power system.
Then why resort to other Chinese corporations if SCADA has the capacity to provide the necessary technical aspect of the NGCP corporation? Why resort to NARI if SCADA is still dependable?
Ma'am, our SCADA is just the tool. It's the system we use to control the power grid. So
How about NARI?
actually the brand of our SCADA as of now is
Mr. Chair,
NARI.
Mr. Chair, just a point of information para lang magkaintindihan. Hindi sila nagkaintindihan eh.
If you will share clarification,
Yes.
okay, you're acknowledged.
As a point of information, Mr. Chair, yung SCADA, ginagamit yun lahat sa mga public utilities, either distribution or transmission. Ang ibig sabihin lang ng SCADA, yung sinabi kanina, yung sistema. Pero yung mga mga equipment, pwede namang iba-ibang brand yun. SCADA is not a brand. It is a system of control. So, kung halimbawa, ikaw yung chairman ngayon, ikaw yung SCADA, ikaw nagko-control ng dito. But we can use different brand of equipments. So, yun lang yun. It is not a brand. It is a system, control system.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Dago. The Honorable Jinky.
Mr. Chair, I acknowledge that we are dealing with a very technical matter. So, to give opportunity to people who are not endowed with technical know-how, I wish to suggest, Mr. Chair, that we conduct an ocular inspection of the NGCP IT infrastructure, including the system, and perhaps we can invite experts to guide the committee members in evaluating whether this system are the one which really are in main control of the operation of the NGCP, one which is Chinese owned, or just equipments being used by Filipino citizens. That is a recommendation, a suggestion, Mr. Chair, from this humble representation.
Noted. We will make the representation for us to be able to make an ocular.
Mr. Chair, I wish to conclude on this point as my other questions has something to do with NARI, which information that I have is the IT infrastructure of NGCP. And with that, Mr. Chair, I wish to make this final manifestation that with all due respect to our esteemed colleagues and our resource persons, but it is indeed my humble submission that while we, in the face of the general information sheet of NGCP, only 40% is Chinese owned, considering however the presence of Chinese citizens, one as chairman, the other two as evaluators of bid, the other one as chief technical officer, and NARI, which I believe is Chinese IT infrastructure. It is my humble submission, Mr. Chair, that it seems that the control over the NGCP has been compromised already in favor of foreign nationals. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The Honorable Jinky Luistro. The Chair recognizes the Honorable Junicio.